Do you find yourself constantly postponing tasks until the last minute, even though you know you'll be stressed later? This episode is for you if you often find yourself putting off important tasks, if you feel overwhelmed by your to do list, or you want to find better ways to stay on track with your goals, or if you're looking to break free from the cycle of procrastination, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to dig into why we procrastinate and how to tackle it. Stay with me because I have some actionable steps that will change the way you approach your day. All right, today we're talking about how to recognize and understand your procrastination triggers. But before we get into that, did you know that about 20% of adults consider themselves chronic procrastinators? Well, before we find out why and what we can do about that, here's a quote that I feel will provide some grounding for our discussion. The writer Victor Kiam once said, "Procrastination is opportunity's assassin." This quote really speaks to the essence of what we're discussing today, which is when we delay or put off tasks, we're not just avoiding work, we're also missing out on the opportunities that come with completing those tasks. Procrastination can steal your time and rob you of the chance to make progress on your goals. So, recognizing and addressing it is crucial for personal and professional growth. So, we all know that procrastination happens for a variety of reasons, but understanding what triggers it is for you is the first step towards overcoming it. Here are three of the most common triggers that I've experienced and that I see with the majority of my clients, and how you can recognize them. Trigger number one is fear of failure. Many people procrastinate because they're afraid of failing or not meeting their own high expectations. When you focus too much on perfection, it can paralyze you. Trust me, this is one of the biggest things I've struggled with. So here's an actionable step that you can do to help you with this. Identify the tasks that you avoid because you're worried they won't be perfect. Start with small, manageable tasks to build momentum. Then remind yourself that progress is more important than perfection. So here's some coaching questions for you as you implement these action items. What are you most afraid of when it comes to failing? How can you reframe failure as a learning opportunity? So let's go ahead and talk about trigger number two, which is lack of clarity. When you're unsure about what you're supposed to do or the steps to get there, it's easy to procrastinate. Here's some actionable steps that go along with this trigger. Break big tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Write a simple to do list for each day to maintain focus. Ask for help or clarification whenever that is needed. So here's some coaching questions that I have for you related to this key area. What task are you avoiding because it feels too overwhelming? How can you break that task down into smaller steps? All right, let's talk about trigger number three, which is distractions. In our always connected world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, email, and even just noise can pull us away from what we need to do. Here's some actionable steps that can help you with this. Set specific times to check email and social media. Create a designated workspace that's free from distractions after you recognize what those distractions are. Use productivity tools or apps to help you stay focused. So, here's some coaching questions for you related to this key area. What are your biggest distractions during the day? How can you minimize or eliminate these distractions? So, of course, I have a story for you related to this topic. So, let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was working on a major project and I found myself procrastinating more than usual. I couldn't understand why. Normally, I'm pretty disciplined, but as I sat down and I thought about it and really had that deep talk with myself on why am I doing this? It turned out that I was overwhelmed by the scope of the project and I didn't have a clear plan. So I spent hours scrolling through social media, watching YouTube videos, and doing anything but what I was supposed to be doing because it just seemed like this big, huge, gigantic task that I really didn't feel up to doing it. Finally, I decided to break the project into smaller tasks, setting small deadlines for each one. This simple change not only helped me get the project done on time, but also taught me the importance of breaking things down to reduce overwhelm. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. In this episode, we talked about how to recognize and understand your procrastination triggers. We explored common triggers like fear of failure, the lack of clarity, and distractions. I shared actionable steps and coaching questions to help you identify and overcome your own procrastination. Remember that progress is more important than perfection, and breaking things into smaller steps can help you stay on track. If you'd like to work with me one on one or join my Unstoppable email community, click the link in the description. I would love to help you on your journey towards success. Until next time, keep finding your path.